Doom, doom. What up, everybody, and welcome.
4 seconds.
Welcome to another edition of the Put It in the Book show. I am Steve. Got Rodriguez right over here to my left with my favorite What was that? Bidadoo. I love that hat back there.
Weather alert.
Oh, it was? Yeah, we do have weather in the area. So in case something crazy
really
goes
bad
on,
weather.
we'll be okay. Right, we got Rodriguez for the start. We got producer Joe's back there, right? Rodriguez, right behind you.
Yo,
Season 1, Episode 2 of the DC show.
There it is. We got producer Joe back there. Keith will be along the way in just a few moments. But as always, Senor Rodriguez, how's life hanging? How's it hanging for you out there?
Speaking of hanging, let's talk about DC.
Dun.
Is he talking about that weird thing again?
Suicide Squad?
Oh,
Suicide Squad, I think he's talking about.
Is that what he's talking about?
It's coming out next week. Do you know what Suicide Squad is at right now on Rotten Tomatoes?
How could it be at any if it hasn't come out yet?
82.
The critic reviews.
82.
82 says producer Joe.
The muffled guy. So what's the deal? What, you guys like Suicide Squad? Producer Joe hates comic
It's actually
movies.
It's at 97% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Holy crap.
Dude, I'm gonna watch it because those are my type of movies. But producer Joe,
see, but that's it. I watched it. I enjoyed it.
It won
an Oscar. It won an Oscar.
It did win an Oscar. The original, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did win an Oscar for was it costume or makeup?
Costume.
Yeah, costume. Barbara, what's up? Frank Terzio, what's up, man?
Welcome.
Lot to talk about. Terzio, I'm putting Terzio's got a job tonight, just in case. As we're talking through all this great Met stuff, we're gonna put it on Terzio to be our roving reporter. And if any big trades come through, Terzio, I need you to chime in, let us know.
Welcome to the team, Terzio. Just remember, I get 5%. Just like that. I talked you up, okay? You don't know this, but I was talking well about you, Mr. Terzio. I love the jokes. Don't forget to give us a Terzio special.
The Terzio special is always good to have. Now that we got all that out of the way, I don't even know if we talked about Rodriguez and how his week is gone and whatnot, but we are all going to go see the Suicide Squad.
Mind your business. That's what mind your business. You always have
Keith will be here in just a little bit. Terzio's ex has been traded to the Empire 161 show. Nice. I like it.
Good one,
Good trade.
Good trade.
That was actually producer Joe. You just gave producer Joe a compliment,
Joe?
Not knowing.
Oh, yeah. Damn it!
I know that hurts you a little bit. All right. On that note, let's go ahead and get this party started. Producer Joe, let's do it.
Put up the box.
All right, what's up, everybody? Again, Put It in the Book show. This is season 4, episode 19, and we got some stuff to talk about, right? So some good, some not so good, some stuff we don't even know yet. You have no idea what's going on in the Mets front office right now.
What's going on? Because I don't know.
Well, there's rumblings on Twitter.
Who wrote that? Who wrote that Phillies thing?
That was Dominic
Sorrentino. Dominic Sorrentino? Okay. We don't care about the filthies. We're going to stomp them out when we see them. That's my attitude. Move on. Don't worry about it, Dom.
That's a quote from the great Michael Strahan. We're going to stomp you out, which, by the way, we stomped you out for all you Giants fans out there. We stomped you out. We'll be back in about a month or so. Give her. Oh, actually, a little bit less than a month. My calendar
about
way
3
off.
weeks. About 3 weeks.
Thank you, Rodriguez, for that.
I should know. I'm gonna be there. So
you will be there. All right. So the last week of the Mets, we.
Ooh.
Well, I guess I better say something since he's all frozen up.
He stopped, huh?
Yeah, it's him, man. It's not you. It's not me.
God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Farace.
Right, so what were we talking about? What was he talking about? Let's keep going.
You know what? Michael Strahan. He was talking about.
Okay. Talking about
I don't know.
Saying,
he was all over the place, man.
We got a bad week or something. We had a good week. We took 2 out of 3 from the Blue Jays. He's probably going to talk about that. So he's going to be happy about that. But we lost 3 out of 5 to Atlanta Braves.
Yeah, we didn't.
And that's very unfortunate. We did not make a good shot, Producer Joe. I do think there's a lot of noise going on in my ears. What is that? Is that Farace?
It might have been.
What's going on? Oh my God!
No, yeah.
All right,
he has really bad storms over his house right now. So let's give him a minute. He may have lost the electric.
I'm 5 minutes away, so it's gonna come my way, or just past me. So anyway, let's talk about Producer Joe. Give me your opinion. Give me your opinion on how the Mets played offensively against the Braves. Do you think that team that played against the Braves can actually get into the playoffs and do some damage? Offensively.
No. There's only so far that our defense and our pitching is going to take us. We're playing. They're a mediocre team, and we scored 9 runs in 5 games. It was ludicrous, It's not.
What do you think is wrong with the offense? You think the offense is? I think they're trying to hit it out. I think everyone's trying to hit the big shot, trying to lift the ball when they could certainly do 2 or 3 run rally every other inning or so if they just concentrate on making straight contact and moving the ball over. Especially when they shift on them so much. Those shits should be automatic bunts. Honestly, I don't even care who it is. It should be.
I don't understand why it's not an automatic bump down the third baseline when the shift is on. You know what? You do it one time, and they'll never put the shift on you again.
Yeah, they'll put, and if they put it on again, you do it again. It doesn't matter if he's
down
ready.
The line. Yep.
They can't throw you if you have one guy in the major leagues at shortstop, and you bunt the ball, and you're a competent runner. He's never throwing you out. There's no way. So you're on already.
Why are you waving?
There's Farace.
Here I am. So I'm joining via cell phone because as I warned Joe right before, there's a storm right above us, and you guys are feeling it too. But that last bit of lightning just knocked me out. But I am back. Look at this technology, baby.
Wow, you're a hero.
Now I have your view. Now
you have my view. Now you know how I feel. That you're not gonna see anything. Actually, you're only gonna see us.
Oh boy!
That's all the view I get. But that's enough. Producer Joe's moving us around. Awesome.
Well, okay, that's good. Let's. What were you guys talking about? The shift.
Finally,
I heard some shift talk.
We're talking about the shift and the series against Atlanta. Producer Joe seems to believe that the offense that we have that played against Atlanta is not going to do any damage in the playoffs. I agree with him. That offense that just played against Atlanta won't get us very far. It might not even get us into the playoffs. So that's what we were talking about. And then we started talking about how easy it is to get a hit in the shift, or at least try to get a hit, at least try to bunt the ball where the shift is. And you came in with your
Is there a reason that major league teams, Mets included, of course, don't just bunt the ball down the third base line when the shift is on? Is there a reason? Is it frowned upon? Is it breaking an unwritten rule?
They can't bunt. They can't bunt, Producer Joe. That's the only reason. Them guys can't do it. They can't bunt. It's not because it's illogical to have a base hit in front of you and you just let it go away. Those guys can't bunt. How is that possible? Even if it's Alonso, bunt the ball down the third base line if they're going to shift you, or if they're going to, or try to hit the ball to the right side. Don't swing at the first pitch. Play baseball. Stop playing, video game baseball where everybody hits a home run and everybody is a great ball player. It's not real life. Become hitters. We need more 300 hitters on this team. A lot more. There's only one. Who's that? McNeil and now this guy, J.D. Davis.
JD
is the only other 300 hitter on this team. We need more 300 hitters.
Dom,
Yes, he is a 300 hitter if he stays on the field and plays.
which would be ideal.
Which would be ideal. They're not asking much. Just play the game, dude.
Yeah, and to Dom, I saw your comment up there, but yeah, I mean, this is happening across the league. It's not just like I think one of you guys said it's not just a Met thing. It's not. It's all across baseball, and Tim, that's a prime example. When in the past, it used to take like 340, 350 to lead the league in hitting. Now you could be top 10 in hitting at 285 in the league, and that's just
But there's a lot of 300 hitters in the American League. There's a lot of 300 hitters still. Okay, there's a lot of them, and we have 3 or 4 of them on the team. One is a steroid head. He's out this year. He's a 300 hitter. Don't you know? You know what I'm talking about?
Oof.
And you got McNeil, who's a 300 hitter when he stops trying to hit home runs. You got J.D. Davis, another 300 hitter, and you got Dominic Smith, who's another 300 hitter. Those are the 3 guys. Nemo's close, but he's not quite there. Lindor's a 300 hitter. You got guys that can hit 300. They have to just do that. Play to their game. Stop trying to lift every ball. A line drive is great, man. If it goes in a gap, it's a double. It's not that hard.
And so I said that earlier. There are I just lost count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There are 11 300 hitters in the entire league this year. 11 in
that's
all
horrible.
Of major
that's
leagues.
That's not even 1 per team.
No, it's so I just
it's a third.
The leader in a third. The leader in all of baseball is Nick Castellanos, who is at 329. Vlad Guerrero, who producer Joe knows well, he's at 327. Michael Brantley, the cheetah that got brought back there, 326, 322. Adam Frazier at 321, and you go all the way down to Jesse Winker of the. Actually, we're about to see him when the Reds come to town at 306. Everybody else in the league is below 300.
So your point is that we're stuck in a league-wide apparent thing going on. Everybody wants to hit home runs.
I think it is. I think it's got a lot to do with the way that baseball handled the juiced ball, right? In my opinion, there's always this thing about becoming knee jerk in your reaction to certain things, right? And so they deaden the ball, they do this to the ball, they ensure this is happening, and now we've gone the opposite direction where we 11 300 hitters in the entire league. I don't know it's not happened during my lifetime. Maybe the dead ball era in the 60s and the 70s, but what's up, Keith?
No.
Gentlemen.
What's up, Lars?
What's going on, guys? Sorry I am late.
No, that's all good. I had an issue too. I had a thunderstorm roll through, and lightning knocked me out, and it became the producer Joe and Rodriguez show, which is fine by me. But we were just talking about it. They're talking about 300 hitters and the shift and whatnot, and I just looked up, and there was 11 hitters in all of baseball, Keith, that are hitting 300 right now, and so we were talking. Everybody else is below 3. Even the great Justin Turner is not hitting 300.
Oh, now you're mad at Justin just because David Wright screwed him out of being the Mets.
Oh, he's doing it again. Producer Joe.
See that?
Big
if
dog.
he would have got that look, if they get that look, they don't get screwed. They do the screwing. When you look like that, you're doing the screwing.
Yes, guys, I'm gonna dip out real quick. I'm gonna go back onto my original camera because I can't do that. I don't know how you do this, Rodriguez.
See you.
Smell you later.
Don't smell me.
All right.
Echo.
Delay. Echo.
There is.
Echo.
Ooh,
He's on the dark web, ladies and gentlemen.
web.
He's on the dark dom web.
Dongy, dong.
Oh, you know
All
what?
right.
You need to remove. There you go.
This is fun.
Now we're back.
This is good stuff here.
So I wonder, you're saying you think the shift is affecting the amount of 300 hitters, or are you just kind of throwing it out as a theory?
No, the guys were talking about it when I disappeared, but it was along the lines of the shift. Why don't you bunt a little bit more? Guys aren't being able to beat the shift, and I kind of just said, this is kind of like knee jerk reaction from the juiced ball. You go from the juice ball to a different type of a ball, and pitchers are doing this, and hitters are getting cracked down on that. And now this year, this is it. We always think that, oh my God, the Mets suck. They can't hit, and a lot of teams can't hit. I think the Brewers have a lower batting average than us, and they're like 20 games over 500. And yet, when we faced them head to head, we took the series.
Yeah, I will never say I understand why players don't take advantage of a huge gap on one side of the field and bunt up that line. And we've been saying that on the show since the beginning of the show. Fundies. You're going to give me a big, giant gap. You know what? I'm going to drag bunt. I mean, not me.
Another straight hand reference.
I can't drag bunt a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, but these guys should be able to, and they should hit it right into that gap. And I'll take a base hit. Listen, if the Mets can get 4 base hits in a row, now the bases are loaded and you scored a run. Base hits are okay, people, and if you're going to give them an open side of the field, take that base hit. I mean, what are we doing? But anyway,
Fundies.
that may be fundies. That may be affecting the batting average. But, there was the golden era with us growing up with the Kirby Puckett's and the Tony Gwynns and the John Olaruds and what? Oh, jeez.
So fundies, the underwear built for two. Wow. What does that say? Twice the fun?
I you know what? I want to congratulate
I'm
Joe.
gonna buy some. Where can you get them? 1975.
It's like that old movie Stuck on You.
Yes, yeah, right.
I want to congratulate Joe because I really had no comment for that at all. That was good.
You should
And
get
I always
more
have
of those,
something
Joe.
to say. Yeah. Good
There
job,
goes
Joe.
your fundies.
All right. We also, you missed, Keith. We put Terzio in charge of any trade rumors out there.
I heard Terzio said that
he's
his ex-wife is hitting around the same batting average as Conforto.
Yes.
The Conforto line.
James Bond, just catching
Don't
up on the
step on
comments because you
Terzio's
can't
foot.
see. Because you can't see when you're watching the. I feel Rodriguez's pain, but
Now you
James Bunker
understand what I've gone through.
I do.
right?
I feel it.
Okay.
I feel it. What's the timeline for DeGrom? It seems as though next week is when some stuff could start happening there. Thor is maybe the 3rd week of August-ish is what they're last talked about. And then Lindor, they said about 3 to 5 weeks total. So that puts him mid-August.
Mid-August.
So
He should be back by mid-August.
We'll start, and we'll see if the guy who wants to play next to him is in a Met uniform by then, Mr. Baez. We just don't know.
That would be a little crazy, man. A little
So
crazy.
let me ask this question because and rightfully so. Conforto is not hitting. Edwin Boyson, Cowbell Man, is in the house. The legend is here.
Cowbell
Yes, you're
Man.
right, Terzio. What's up, man? We love you out there.
Yes.
We listen to the cowbell. We listen to it. It gives us that drive, especially producer Joe. Producer Joe loves it
Producer Joe
because
loves
he doesn't hear all these sounds back there. So the occasional bell, he gets excited about it.
A little muffled.
Yeah. A little bit.
It's all right.
So, but again, I've seen a lot of not much today, but before, I guess maybe the throw had something to do with it last night. But a lot of stuff about Conforto now, and I somebody said something about I want to say it was Bohan from earlier, but so now with the way the Conforto's hitting, do you want to give up on him and now you could potentially sign a Baez in place of a Conforto? Where do you guys thinking about that kind of stuff now?
Go ahead, Keith.
I was just say that's really tough. I mean, he earned the name on the show, The Charlatan, for a reason. He goes ahead and has 1 year. Granted, 60 games last year, but in the same sample of games this year, polar opposites in terms of offense. Defense, he's consistent, if not better, as you can see last night with that throw home. And as Joe said, credit to McCann for that as well. But
More cowbell, please.
it makes it. What's that?
More cowbell, please.
It makes it really tough. There you go, Edward. That was for you. It makes it really tough because you know what Conforto's capable of, and it's a lot. But then he kind of disappears like he's doing now. Do I want to replace him, not sign him, and get somebody else? I don't know if I can answer that. I think I'd have to give the rest of the year to really give an answer on that and see if he turns it around. Right now, he's making that a tough call, but I personally would give him the rest of the year, see what he does.
We do have that clip, producer Joe. I loaded that in there if you want to take a look at that throw from yesterday. And right before we do that, there's a couple of games over the last 8 or so that he's won for us. One with his arm, one with his bat. Again, I'm not defending 208. That's not a thing that's happening here. Keith, maybe lightning hit you over there. You're muted too. Let's play the clip first.
The clip is ready. Here we go.
All right.
Deal after a leadoff double. Adrianza, though, lines one into right for a base hit. Almonte to third is being waved home. Here comes Conforto's throw to the plate. McCann, the tag. He's out! Oh. He's out! Conforto on the fly to McCann, who slid. Put the tag on the sliding Almonte to keep the tying run off the board.
Brilliant throw. We had Diaz in there. It was just if not for that, it's really a wreck last night, and it really becomes a wreck of a series. Rodriguez,
that's why you don't give up. You don't give up on Conforto because he's as a right fielder. He's a very good right fielder with a good arm, as you just saw.
Yeah.
He's a good defensive player. He's a young guy with his ups and downs. He has the skill. He has the power to be a home run hitter. He has skill to be an average hitter. So he's a good player. Why does signing Javi Baez mean that we have to get rid of Conforto? It doesn't necessarily mean that. There could be other things done to keep both of them on the team. And if you have listen, the only thing about Javi Baez, the only problem that I see with him is that he strikes out a lot. Other than that, he's a Gold Glove fielder. He's a power hitter
cannon
at the
of an
shortstop
arm
or second with a cannon of an arm who loves the game, who plays it hard. And him and Lindor, it's Puerto Rican power. That's honestly, there's a lot of pride in Puerto Ricans. And when you want to play, you want to play with the best Puerto Rican player out there. It's Lindor, and Javi Baez is a very close second. So those are two really good players.
Imagine that double play combo.
Imagine a double play combo. Leave J.D. Davis at third. Or put McNeil at third. I don't even care. DH somebody. It's for the next 5 years. Get rid of Cano. Don't you know? Save some money for next year. There's a lot of things that can be done. We can have it all. It doesn't have to be
Cohen's. Yeah, and Cohen has already said he's willing to go over the threshold. So he is pushing. You listen to some of the reporters today, and they're all kind of saying the same thing: is that Cohen is pushing for a trade to get done. There he is. There's the man. Go.
There he is.
I do have a little bit of news not involving the Mets, but I did say that we would keep up with some of the trade stuff, regardless of whether it's Mets or not. But the Yankees
got Gallo.
Well, they already got Gallo. But they are nearing a deal to acquire Anthony Rizzo from the Cubs to play first base for them.
That would be horrible.
There you go, Cornet is saying at the same time.
Horrible moment.
I heard the Red Sox were strong after him, and I don't know if the Yankees jump in because this is one of those things where
a nice kid.
You want to take.
Nice kid.
you're blocking your opponent from getting him. But I don't see the Yankees catching the red side. The only hope the Yankees have, barring a miracle, is the second wild card spot.
Now Rizzo's gonna go to hell like every other Yankee.
Well, he's not going. He's not signing there. So maybe at the end of the season he signs somewhere else and
If he doesn't
redeems
sign,
himself.
If he doesn't sign, he won't go to hell. But if he signs that paper, straight down when it's over.
Redemption. Keith comes back to that news.
For those who are not in South Florida, we have crazy lightning down here, so we're just getting some power surges in our area now, which isn't too far from Farace. But did we not? Only because I wasn't on. Did we or did we not also cover the Gallo situation?
Yeah, we just mentioned Gallo. Yeah. So now that the Yankees get two big left-handed bats in that tiny ballpark where Gallo might hit 70 in the second half. So that guy's got some crazy power. Terzio says MLB Network says it's a done deal. Yeah. So
they'll go back to the team
they have to the Yankees. Wow.
They'll go back to being the team they've been for the last 12 years or so. Lots of runs, and they can't hold the runs. They'll lose a lot of 12, 11 games. They'll win more games than they're winning now, but they're going to lose a lot of 10, 9, 12, 11, 7, 6 games.
Even when they suck, they usually have a better record than us. I mean, let's be real here.
Rizzo has been informed of the trade, so that's a done deal.
I hope he pukes on the field and shows him how. I hope he pukes on the field.
I mean, we were not really connected to Rizzo, and why would we be when we have a big beast, Big Pete over there at first base?
We have our own babies.
And Big Dom. I mean Dom.
Big Dom.
There it is.
Speaking of Big Dom, if ever there was a case for the DH in the National League, it happened today with Taijuan Walker up at the plate, 2 on, 2 out, and he's bunting all the way through because
I think twice he came up with a potential.
We don't want to.
Yeah,
right? We don't want a pitcher getting hurt.
Yeah, but come on, man. You can't get up there and take a few swings as a pitcher. You don't even get to swing. Those are the things you look forward to.
They said he hurt his shoulder, but they said, I mean, he's hit no. What is he hit? No 33. But they said he hit something with his shoulder last time with a swing. He had the side thing going on. Yeah. So I mean, it does for everybody who says, "Oh, just leave it alone." Stop. What are we doing here in a divisional game? I think it was 5-2 or 3 at the time. In a divisional game, you're going up there and you're bunting with two strikes, 2 outs, 2 on, and that's just not fun baseball. That's not fun baseball to me. When you're giving up and out there in a situation where you got 2 on, you're closing in on the game. It's a divisional game. You're trying to put these guys away, and then up comes this guy. And then
if the DeGrom was up,
well, he wouldn't be. But he's the only guy. I mean, everybody else I wouldn't want to see up there. He's the only. And Keith,
if DeGrom was not
show
the pitcher,
show your DeGrom swing face. That's Keith is always upset. Keith is always very concerned.
If DeGrom was not the pitcher, I would love to see him up in a run scoring or runners in scoring position opportunity.
The funny thing
that
is, no one
swing
thought
he
about
took a few years back when he held his ribs and missed a start or two. Ever since then, let's go DH, baby.
God. They're like little girly girls sometimes, man. How many years? How did this ever happen that a pitcher can't even take a swing and then he goes on the DL? This never used to happen. What the heck's going on now? They're so specialized with everything. Come on, Delilah, get on, take a swing.
You know who's you know what I find about people complain about players these days and their babying and everything, but who raised this generation? The generation before
the people calling them babies. But
don't try to blame me for nothing.
Hashtag robot ump. Hashtag
any of my boys. Robot ump. You should really think about that robot ump thing.
I want robot ump. Give me my robot ump.
You want robot ump when that curveball comes around the corner and doesn't even go over the plate. It's gonna come around the corner and hit the strike zone all the way in the back, unhittable. when that strike goes into
as long as
they're calling it
doing
six inches outside anyway.
As long as they're doing it the same for both teams, I am all for it. Then
You
our
can-
pitchers
you
need
can-
to
you
learn
can
to
hit
throw
it
that
3 or
pitch,
4
and the
inches.
hitters need to learn how to hit it. Adjust. It's called baseball.
You can hit that. You can't hit that because it's not going over the plate. You're taught to hit the ball over the plate. The ball's got to
You
go
should
over
at
the
least
plate.
swing at it. Always swing.
Yogi Berra would hit it.
You
Yogi
should
Berra
cover-
would throw his bat at it. So
Yogi
you got to
Berra's
adjust.
dead. Who gives a crap about Yogi Berra? And he's a skanky anyway.
He's up
He's a
there in
true
heaven with
skanky.
Warner Wolf.
He's Warner Wolf died already, huh? Finally.
Yeah, I guess so.
I was gonna say thank goodness, but I didn't really mean thank goodness. I mean, finally we're right.
All right. So, all right. Let's
be
get
right
back.
with
We have to be one of these days.
The day he does
I'm
pass,
sorry, God.
I'm not
sorry,
wishing
God.
on him. We do have to.
I
Have
mean,
it.
it's gonna. We could say that about anybody, and we'll be right.
Right.
One day we'll be right about everybody.
What are you yelling
but
at me about that for? What do you got?
We
so angry?
we will have
What do
to
you
have
mean?
a Warner Wolf memorial show the day it happens.
Yeah, I think
and
so.
we'll go to the videotape.
We'll go to lots of videotapes. Producer Joe will set it up for us
because he's the best producer in
Because
the
he's
game
producer
today.
Warner Wolf.
and all you can tune in to the videotape showings.
Hey Keith, before we get to our next segment, do you want to talk about coffee?
Sure. I'm drinking coffee right now.
Great segue.
I don't believe that. I don't believe
He's
it.
a liar. He's a liar.
Knob Creek Water Coffee. Straight,
Wrong company,
straight from
wrong
the
company.
rivers and forests of Kentucky. BrooklynWaterCoffeeRoasters.com, from their roastery to your front door. You can put whiskey in your coffee if you want. I suggest it, especially in the morning before work. Makes it a little easier.
Don't listen to him.
little
We're
more
not
loose.
liable for anything he says.
Nothing. None of it.
Everything.
None of it.
BrooklynWaterCoffeeRoasters.com, from their roastery to your front door. Speaking of whiskey, Drunken Pig. It's a whiskey-infused bacon-flavored coffee. It is so delicious. And you know where you get that, Farace? At BrooklynWaterCoffeeRoasters.com. And it's got bacon flavor. It's got whiskey. It's got to have at least 300-400 calories a cup, right? How many calories come in that?
7,000.
Wow, minus 7,000, which equals
Zero.
boom. Have 2 cups. Add real whiskey to it, but then the calorie count changes. But do it. Just do it.
Yeah, be careful.
Do it in the morning, in the middle of the day. Have 4 cups of whiskey a day.
Don't
do some
drink and drive. He's trying to get you to kill
Unless you
yourself.
work with me, because I don't want to deal with you if you're drinking whiskey all day at work. BrooklynWaterCoffeeRoasters.com, from their roastery to your front door. Only the finest beans are selected and roasted for your pleasure. Your pleasure.
All right.
Morning Wood. www.brooklynwatercoffeeroasters.com. Check them out now. You can use code PopCulturePros and you get your 3rd bag free, but that means you got to buy 2. And then you get 3. So for
Amazing.
2. There's a ton
2
of
of them.
flavors out there. Check them out. And, you get a 3rd bag free. Try it. I suggest Morning Wood with your whiskey. But anyway, guaranteed to ship within 24 hours of its roast date.
He wants your morning wood.
Oh boy! All right,
Farace.
so sorry. Let's get back.
Wood is good, G.
Let's reel it back
Wood is
into
good,
Mets
G.
talk here.
Yo.
I mean,
What?
Keith missed a week. He's all discombobulated.
I thought that was pretty good.
That wasn't,
Mrs. Farace, I'm not sure what
wasn't bad.
what
Wasn't
you're
bad.
saying, but I will take your word in judgment for it because you are all wise.
Here we
All
go.
right,
Here
so
we go.
we come into
Don't hurt his feelings.
don't do it.
Don't do
All right,
it.
so we come in with a 5-game set against the Braves. The Braves are 5 games out coming into the series. Could have been 10 games out. Could have been tied. But the Mets are 4 games ahead of Craplana. The Phillies, I think. George, what's up, man?
6-7.
I think somebody mentioned in here that the Phillies won either game 1 of their doubleheader or game 2 of their doubleheader or whatnot, but it's a 3.5 game lead now. So you go into this series, and I was talking to producer Joe right before the show. The Mets in their last 45 games, the Mets are 22-23 and have lost exactly 0 games in the standings. So obviously this lends to that the rest of the division is not doing so hot. We're the best of the not so hot. The Marlins are out of it. The Nationals are about to be out of it because they already traded their closer.
Choking.
Scherzer, I hear, just going through here, I see that the holdup on the Padres deal is that Scherzer has to approve that deal. The Padres were not on his original no trade destinations. So anyway, you fast forward through the 5 games. You lose 3 out of 5. There's still 4 games out. What's your impression, Rodriguez, on the Mets have set themselves up now, less than 24 hours to go before the trade deadline. I think the Mets are set up well here, but they do need to add on.
If you watch the series and you judge the Mets on this series only, which you kind of can, because they played it the same way they've been playing the whole year. The last 45 games, basically a 500 series, pretty close. They need somebody on offense, and they need a starting pitcher. That's basically what we need at the trade deadline. What we're gonna get, I don't know. Would I be happy with Baez? Sure. What will I give up for him? I don't want to give up our top talent, but if he's willing to sign, he seems to be willing to sign because he wants to play with his boy, right? So yeah. Lindor and Baez. That's a good combination. Let everybody else figure everything else out because those are all stars. Gold glove players. All-stars.
Would you trade Davis as a part of the package and move McNeil a third?
Sure.
Baez over here?
But the problem is McNeil.
At that point,
you have to trade Davis, or you could even trade Smith. Okay, because Davis can go to the outfield. You can even trade Smith if you want, because you actually have a bona fide first baseman that's not going anywhere. So think about that. The big Dom could be gone. Then you can make talk about his domness on another show. So
then he's going to be Stubby Vienna.
Then he's going to be let's go, Stubby Vienna. Okay. All right,
Joe,
you guys get the visual,
right?
You guys got the visual.
No, Smith or Davis, one of them goes. Now, okay. Okay, so let's say you get Baez or Bryant, whatever the situation is. So who do you want to trade there? Do you want to trade Dom, who is?
I'm not
Dom?
Saying trade. I'm not saying
no.
Trade
I'm
major leaguers. I'd rather trade minor leaguers, but most likely they may trade one of those guys.
Yeah, I don't, because Davis is still young enough. If he's in the trade to the Cubs, that could be something that the Cubs would want back.
Oh, absolutely.
Because of he's shown definite signs that he can be a fantastic hitter, and his defense is mediocre at best over there. But the more he plays, the more it's gonna the better he'll be.
I had to look away when he chased that fly ball over his shoulder this afternoon. But what's up?
I want to go over to you and talk about Terzio would have a hand than his ex. But we wanted Brad Hand in the offseason, by the way, and we didn't get him then either.
He didn't want to come with us.
He wanted to be a closer, which the money. Who can blame him? You get closer money compared to eighth inning guy money. That's a big deal in baseball.
Was there a huge difference between our offer and the closer offer? I don't know.
Well, anyway, we can't judge it based on Familia. You got to judge it based off of which, by the way, how great has Familia been this year? Fantastic.
Who?
You know, La Familia.
I don't know if that's a pun, but
I will never.
Joe, can you put up George's?
Wait, let's look at this real quick.
Okay.
Jerry's Familiar's stuff has been absolutely nasty lately. This is from the great Steve Gelbs, who never gets a thing wrong. It doesn't get talked about enough, but he's really having a great year. And look, our bullpen has been solid, and it might not be something that in years past, every single year we want to go and we need to address our bullpen, upgrade the bullpen, and all this stuff. This year, sure, you can never have too many arms out there, but there are different areas that you.
If we had another starter, that bullpen would be even better because they'd be well rested, and all of them coming in fresh. My God, Familia, is he?
This is it.
He
for
wants to
Familia,
be a
I think.
Met. He wants to be a Met, so
He
he's
does.
an easy sign. He's an easy
Yeah.
sign.
Does that
But,
mean the way that you're saying it sounds like you want him to sign?
I said he's easy.
Producer Joe, am I wrong?
That doesn't mean just because you're easy doesn't mean you're good. You should know about that, Farace.
Admit it.
All right, but okay. So Keith, so another target that has been kind of talked about here and there is Jose Berrios from the Twins. Andy Martino is reporting that if Mauricio is not in the deal, then might as well not have a conversation. And so this is a guy. The Twins have said if Mauricio is not in the offer for Jose Berrios, then don't even step back, son.
That guy's a beast, dude.
He's very listen, Keith. These are his stats. So his career is 6 years, all with the Twins. He's 55-43. The Twins have been up and down a couple of years. They were running away with the division and whatnot, but never been able to shake the Indians and stuff clear. But his ERA is 4.08. Now that being said, in his last 5 seasons, his highest. I just swallowed the H. His highest ERA is 4. His ERA in his rookie season at age 22 was 8.02. That's what brings up that ERA. But he's been in the 3.5 to 4 range over the last 5 years. His strikeouts about 200, 195. He's at 130 this year. He's a strikeout guy. He's got great stuff. Couple-time All-Star. Would have been an All-Star last year. And so would you give up? I'm going to step back on this because my deal on prospects. Would you give up a Mauricio in exchange in a deal for a guy like Jose Berrios, who, by the way, has 1 year, I believe, on his contract left after this year? So you get an extra year from him.
I think you have to, and it's hard for me to say that because I love prospects, kind of opposite of you.
Mm-hmm.
Mauricio is really coming into his own. He's his bat is really waking up. I think he's 10, 11 home runs this year. But that's against minor league talent. We don't know what he's going to do in the major league. Somebody like Berrios, we know what he's worth in the major leagues, and he would round out. I don't think he's a number one. He might be someday in the future, but he rounds out any rotation, 2, 3 to 4 starter, depending on the depth of your rotation, beautifully. And to have him every 5th day over the hopes of some prospect who's doing well in the minors is well worth it. On top of that, he's 27, and our pitching is starting to age a little bit. We do have Yawan Walker, he's relatively young. We have Stroman, who's relatively young, but DeGrom's getting up there. Carrasco's up there. So to get somebody who is established and against some really good American League teams into our rotation, I'm all for it. And he's been healthy, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he's been pretty healthy.
Do I want to lose Mauricio? No, but you're not going to get a guy like Berrios for free. So I'm all for it. Pitching, really, and this year, and Met fans, if you don't realize that, this year tells you the tale. Pitching wins because our offense. We have some players who are capable of some great offense, but they have not been playing great, and our pitching has been keeping us alive.
Yeah.
So
pitching and actually our defense has been the most consistent part of our game this year. Our hitting has come and gone, mostly gone. Pitching has come and gone, mostly come. And the defense has been there.
Even some of these guys who've been filling in for Lindor, like Villar and Guillorme and McNeil or whatever, they've been holding it down defensively. But because Lindor's bat has not really been awake.
Think about it, Keith. What you're saying, Lindor. Who's the shortstop for the next 10 years? Lindor, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
God willing, goodness willing, whatever. He's our shortstop for the next 10 years. Is Mauricio going to play shortstop in the majors then? No, he's going to have to go third. Do we have a couple other base prospects? Yes, we do. So guess what? Like you said, Berrios, an ace right now, who could be an ace for the next 5 or 6 years, for Mauricio, who probably won't even play with us, may not play with us, may get traded for somebody else. Yeah, Javi Baez, come on down, Mauricio, you got to go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
so
know, and McNeil is so flexible. You could throw him at third. He is not a liability at third base. He's better at second, but he's not a liability
no.
at third base. You put Baez at second and Gold Glover. Not last year. I think 2 years ago or 3 years. He won a Gold Glove.
I put Baez at third.
So, and then you have Lindor, Gold Glover, and then you have Pete the Beast, not a Gold Glover, but decent, and McNeil.
He saved the game yesterday. He scooped the ball up that Villar got on a grounder.
No,
Pete
is good. Pete is.
Pete's definitely.
He's gotten to be a good first baseman. I think. Not.
I just worry when
excellent.
I worry when he's slamming his balls into the dirt doing those stretches. I mean, excuse the vulgarity, but
very scary.
I mean, yeah.
Butch Husky.
Oh boy, left field, baby.
So look, producer Joe is telling you he's a top prospect.
And what happened with Butch Husky? Look what happened. Producer Joe's making our point.
Butch Husky wasn't bad. He was a third. He was a fourth outfielder. That's but he was good. He was good. He was a good fourth outfielder. He did a decent job in Boston too. Short career.
So
wasn't a terrible player. But
do you want to trade Butch Husky for Roger Clemens at the time? Would you have traded Butch Husky for Roger Clemens?
Hell no. You got to keep Butch all the way. Those freckles. Let's go, baby.
I mean,
see how weird people are. People are weird.
Butch had his years, and it was probably the years that it might have been producer Joe and his crew that scared Butch Husky away.
All his years combined make one average year. Okay.
Actually, he did have one very good, two good years. That's Greg Jeffries.
You know what I remember?
Okay,
another one.
Crybaby. I remember him just being a crybaby. I couldn't stand it. When he first came up, I was excited about him, and just wham. Every time he made an out, wham.
My mom hated him, and she also didn't like Todd Hundley either. But
he was really good though. He was really
Greg
good.
Jeffries was good, even better when we traded him, or was a free agent. So
he was a 330 hitter.
Listen to Butch Husky. Butch Husky in 97, 287, 24, and 81. Rodriguez.
Oh, okay.
And in 99. He didn't play for us.
He took over
and he had a nice season there.
Crazy crap like that, right? Yeah, he was good. He was a good player. He went to Boston.
How did the heckling go, producer Joe?
Producer Joe.
How did the Butch Husky heckling go?
He's Butch. He's Husky. He's Butch Husky. Over and over again.
and then he was like, "I'm retiring. I'm out. I want to go to Boston."
Yeah, but when we did it to him in visiting fields, when we did it to him in Florida, I think that put him over the top.
So Timmy's saying, yeah, I do know this about Timmy's wife. Jeffries was my wife's first love, then Todd Hundley. So it was an interesting comparison between the other day on one of the shows I was listening to of Greg Jeffries and Jeff McNeil. And how the perception could be made that when McNeil gets pissed off in a 12-3 game that the Mets are winning or losing because he popped out or did something could be perceived as him putting himself first, as Greg Jeffries seemed to have done back then. It was all about him, which if all players said, I want to put myself in a position to win, the team's going to win. But what do you guys think about that particular comparison? Rodriguez, Greg Jeffries from back in the day, you remember him slamming the bat. McNeil slams the bat now. So what do you think about that comparison?
Listen, to be in the major leagues and to stay up there, you have to perform. And there has to be a certain intensity that you need day in and day out. So that intensity, you need it at every at-bat on every single pitch. Some guys have it, some guys don't. Some guys show it, some guys don't. McNeil shows it, and that's fine with me as long as it's not something where it's detrimental to the team, where he hits the ball, it gets called out, and he doesn't run to first base because he gets upset on a strikeout or something. He does something stupid, a mental mistake. That's what I can't stand, But to be physically upset and smash your bat on the ground. big whoops. It doesn't matter. That means you're mad. That means you're trying at least, And if he gets uppity, Lindor knows how to deal with them. They'll go look for squirrels in the back. They'll be like, "Oh, was it a squirrel? Was it a raccoon? Was it a
I think it was a raccoon, bro.
I don't know what it was, but somebody found something.
It was a raccoon, baby.
Joe, Joe, you're killing the show with that picture.
This is and
Sean, come on.
Coleman.
Oh man,
Coleman.
This is blast from the pad. It feels like the episode we did where we talked about the most hated Mets.
Now put a picture up of firecrackers. Come on.
That's one of them right there.
Sean Lilly points out that Butch Husky was the second to last Met to ever wear number 42. He also talks about how Jeff isn't universally loathed the way Jeffries was. That's a big thing there. Jeffries was not a favorite of either his teammates or the fans.
I had a plaque of his.
He came up as a golden child. Remember?
Yeah, that's why I liked him. But remember,
nobody liked him.
Memories from a long time ago, the first thing you're going to remember is your feeling. I know how I felt about him, but to compare him to the squirrel, I really have to look at video and that's what I just described earlier. I really have to look at video and kind of try to understand why there's a difference if the behavior was similar. I don't even know if the behavior was similar because it was so long ago. I don't remember the exact reasons. I just remember how I felt at that time, which was, that he's a jerk, a crybaby, and annoying.
I just remember, I don't know who it was, what announcer it was, but I remember he got pissed off. Greg Jeffries got pissed off, probably had to be late 80s. And I just remember the announcer saying, "Hey kids, this is what not to do on a baseball field." As he threw his helmets and all this.
But it's also a different time in baseball right now. You know what I mean, Farace?
For sure.
So things are more accepted, than they were back then.
Do you guys like what Javi Baez did the other day with Cincinnati?
I do. Oh, we covered Rodriguez. I like that. I think that gets all the competitive stuff going. If you want to fight about it, fight about it. But then the next day, the Reds pitcher was the one who got Baez out. There it is. There's a fight between Harrelson and Petey. Pete not in the Hall of Fame rows.
Pete is a beast, but yeah. I mean, I thought.
But going back to that, Rodriguez, what Keith? What do you think? I know. I saw how old school versus new school played out online, at least, but
well, yeah, online is a whole different other joke. But here's the deal: him and that pitcher had a relationship, and that relationship was beef. So I was okay with it. If he did that on a regular basis, he did a walk-off hit, and every walk-off hit to every random pitcher he did that. It's kind of a bit much, I would think. But him and that pitcher had a history, and that was his to that pitcher, and I was totally okay with that because it's competitive. It's baseball. If you don't have your competitive nerves up and running, and you're not willing to either rub it in or take somebody rubbing it back into you, then you shouldn't be in a competitive sport. You should go cry, coloring books and puppies or something or whatever.
Coloring books and puppies.
Yeah.
So Rodriguez, you brought it up. What did you think about it?
I think it was too much. I don't think that I'm not against celebrating if you hit a home run or whatever. If you have beef with the guy, like Keith says, and then you want to show yourself up on national TV and make yourself seem like a. To me, he looks like a schmuck. Honestly, it's not. I didn't think it was professional as a professional baseball player. There's a certain decor that you have to have. You represent a team. You represent a city. You're gonna act like a butt clown on TV like that, even if you hate the guy. So he could have celebrated a little bit less, and it would have been between them, and the other guy would have known. Because that's the way I feel. As long as you know that I beat you, that's all I need. I don't need to show the whole world that I'm a big man. I just needed to show you, and he did it. So why did he have to do all that?
So let me play devil's advocate to that real quick.
Showing himself.
On two quick examples. A third out, close game. Diaz strikes out the last person, and his big celebration on the field. That's one. And the second one is Conforto, base hit, game-winning walk-off. They all run to the field, rip a shirt off. Would you also consider that the same kind of overly demonstrative, rub it in your face to the other team
Hey,
No,
producer Joe
the
does.
thing with bias that I don't know what producer Joe. The thing with bias to me, like if it was between me and that pitcher, and I beat him, okay, I'll celebrate, but not to the extent that he did. I think
Yeah, he
it was
rubbed it
too
more
much. I
personal, right?
think it was too much. I think he just made too much of it. I'm not against him being happy and elated and all that good stuff, like the guys when they rip off the shirt or whatever. You're happy, elated. You're not trying to make the other, not even trying to make the other guy feel bad. That's not even the point. The point is you just make yourself look bad to me, that you're not a professional baseball player, and you should have a little bit more couth to you, more polished than to be that. So I didn't like it.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. I think it's okay, but I definitely respect where you're coming from too, especially since you've played the game. It's maybe a little different view on it. But
Yeah,
as a fan,
that's how I feel. I mean, when I beat a guy, if I'm pitching and I strike him out and I beat him, and it's a guy, because we will talk to each other. I'll talk. There's a guy named Nestor on in my league. We talk about all the time. He's an ex-pro guy. He always wants to hit the ball out on me. He never does. So we talk smack all the time. Look, see, that's how you do. You have fun with your friends. But what Baez did, not cool.
yeah,
Yeah, I can certainly see both sides of it. I like the celebratory. I like that stuff in basketball. I like it in football. So I do want to see baseball, with that kind of stuff. Maybe he went a little bit too far, but I enjoyed it.
What's up,
So,
Mr. Gines.
Farace, did you think it was
Mr.
okay
Guy?
when
He's
A-Rod
healthy.
smacked the ball out of what's his name's glove? All right, I'm kidding. Don't answer that. Keep it moving.
It's different. It's different.
It's different. But no, you're right. To me,
You're right.
because of that history, it makes it okay. If he did that every at bat, no. But anyway,
Frank says for 20 million a year, I'd do cartwils. Max
That's it,
says
Frank.
celebrate however
Max.
you want. See,
Steve.
but back in the day, you
crazy.
you would have done that and then worried about in the ear hole.
the next guy.
Well, then there's
the
that,
next
right? I
guy,
mean,
you sealed his fate.
Would you do that to a Nolan Ryan? Because he will not care. He's getting thrown out. He'll put it in your ear hole. And if you want to charge him out, he'll throw it down with you.
Exactly.
Nolan Ryan,
exactly.
they don't make him like that anymore. And that,
Or Robin Ventura. Robin Ventura and Nolan Ryan fight Adam on
the headlock.
Headlock.
But I remember
Yeah.
Robin Ventura for the walk-off grand slam single.
Yep. No, for
I remember
sure.
him getting his face punched in. just like McNeil. Just like McNeil. Oh, there's a raccoon
Oh
back.
man.
From squirrel to raccoon in one swing.
And Baez is coming. So Baez gonna back Lindor up, and they're gonna jack up McNeil every time he says something stupid.
Check it out. Real quick, not to slow the progress of the show, but it's the first time we've all been back together in 3 weeks.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
What's up, gentlemen?
That's,
Good stuff. Missed you. I missed
cool.
this,
Aww.
triangle of love here.
Oh,
All right,
don't
a couple.
hug me.
A couple more comments here. George says it builds rivalries.
It builds rivalry. Yeah. Let me hit you in the freaking head with a baseball.
Kind of like Pedro Martinez head slamming Zimmerman into the floor.
Cousin. Oh my, that was not nice. But
Zimmerman was trying to attack him.
He was. I like Pedro. Caribbean League do it normally. MLB doesn't like it. What else did Max say here? Celebrate however you want.
Don't listen to Max. He's my cousin. I know Max. He's gonna say everything. Look, Pete should do the
cha-cha.
Every time. See that? Don't listen to Max.
Pete do the little cha-cha action. Yeah. Mike Assisi says it wasn't too far. Let them celebrate. Timmy says I celebrated when I hit bombs on 67th Street.
Roof it, Tim. Roof it. Roof it
Terzio
says,
for the auto. Play my walk-up music. Beat it. The biggest rumor right now, Mr. Gines, is it's pretty quiet when it comes to Mets. They're interested in a bunch of guys, but from Baez to Story to Berrios to
what do we have till
Bryant.
12, right?
We have until 4:00 tomorrow afternoon.
I did read earlier, and I'm not sure if
you
already mentioned this on the show. If you did, I apologize. But that J.D. Davis is not up for trade, but Mets are willing to discuss J.D. Davis in a trade, which tells me that's a Javier Baez type of.
But I don't want Andy Martino said a little bit earlier that the Mets were willing to include J.D. Davis in a deal back in January for Bryant. Why wouldn't they do that now? I don't want Bryant for 3 months. I don't want Bryant. And guys out there, I know that he's a big name, but to make a trade for a guy who hasn't hit what he hit back in April when he got off to his hot start, and his defense is okay, it's mediocre. So for me to send J.D. Davis and somebody else, because that's what it's going to take, to the Cubs for Bryant for 3 months is not worth it to me.
For Baez, I would do it. For Bryant, no.
And for Baez, listen, you need to have a stern sit-down conversation with him about his attitude. But if he's willing to sign long-term,
you know what? If he does it when he's a Met, I may understand it a little bit more.
It's going to be a funny personality clash when he's a Met tomorrow.
Mike, are you talking about this microphone being trash? Get out of here! Blue microphones are trash.
It's going to be a funny personality clash when he's a Met after tomorrow between him and Lindor when Lindor comes off the DL to see.
Are you kidding me?
If Lindor can keep Baez's attitude in check.
They'll be fine.
You think Lindor would punch him in the mouth?
He don't have to. He's the boss. That's how it goes. Everybody now knows he's the boss. McNeil found out real quick.
Well, you know what it is too. It's the they're it's a kinship. They're both from Puerto Rico. You know what I mean? So they have a bond. So they'll have a mutual respect. And I think Lindor's personality it's a dominant type of personality, and people tend to fall in line with how he approaches the game. And I think it would actually help Baez a lot. But let's see. I would love to see Baez on the team. Honestly,
I think people want to get rid of McCann. Am I hearing those rumors, Farace?
No.
I see people on our thing that would say get rid of McCann. They hate him.
We're not doing that.
And Joe, yes.
No, it wasn't Joe. Who was it? Was it Max?
It was Joe.
Max, I didn't read your notes.
No, it was Terzio. Any deal at the Mets do, I hope it includes McCann. Can't stand that guy. McCann is also a guy who has saved us from losing several games. Big home runs, good defense. And he's not even hitting that bad.
Was Buffalo a better hitter? Yes, but who's a better player?
Not last year. Not even close. Buffalo's hitting like 180.
Okay,
and he couldn't move.
His first 2 years with the Mets.
He was a Buffalo.
But let me finish. No. He was a good hitter, Buffalo. Thanks. So hold on.
Well, he was only in the Mets for 2 years. First 2 years, no.
I thought it was 3.
Was he for 3 years?
I think it was 3 years. I could be wrong. I thought it was 3 years.
It was 2.
All right, now we have to fact check that. But while I'm fact checking that,
what'd you say? What? What'd you say to me?
We we said, the defense is bad. We want to improve up the middle. And guess what we did? We improved up the middle with Lindor, with getting rid of Cano. I'm sorry. I know everybody has different views on this, but to me, Cano was a little bit of a lazy second baseman. Putting people in there like Guillorme and McNeil has improved our defense, bottom line. And having McCann behind the plate up the middle, we've improved drastically. And credit to Nimmo. I know he's been on and off the DL, but when he has been in, Nimmo has played might I even say, stellar center field. Pretty good.
Yeah, why is he playing a stellar center field? Not because of him. It's because of the coaching staff finally getting up off their ass and figuring out how to play the guy. Thank God.
Maybe you're right. Positioning him right. Like DeGrom is positioning Freddie Freeman. Maybe DeGrom is positioning Nimmo now.
DeGrom probably should.
I remember that game, but he's doing this to Freddie Freeman. That was great. But right. So up the middle, the Mets' plan for this year was to improve defense up the middle, and we've done that drastically. And they're doing a great job, McCann included.
That's the only reason we're in first place, the defense. Honestly, I believe that now 100% because our pitching has done well. but our hitting blows. Consistent hitting.
Tercio, you cannot take one at bat, 2 men on, nothing. 2 innings later, blue base hit. I get it, but you sound like producer Joe right now. You can't take one at bat and say McCann's trash. I could say that McCann's a Hall of Famer based on a game-winning home run, a pinch hit 2-run shot that he hit a couple weeks ago to win us a game. You win the division by 1 game, and thanks, McCann, because you got us in the playoffs.
They need to hate somebody. They just need to hate somebody.
Somebody's got to hate somebody somewhere.
It was 2 years Buffalo was with us, but just for the sake of me being right, we'll call it 3.
And he wrong. Let's just say
he hit a robust 239 last year.
But his first year, he was a good slap hitter. He got a lot of base hits. He did a good job. Last
Tim,
year,
don't try and scare any of us like that again. You remember maybe a couple of years ago that we were talking about with Timmy. We were talking about Thor and DeGrom. Both. Remember they had them both in Yankee uniforms. How dare they? All right, producer Joe. Let's talk about this weekend. We start tomorrow. The Reds come to town. Barbara, as yes, for fair weather fans, there are a lot of if you were in the amount of groups that I was in, and we see lots of fair weather fans out there. Frank says Frank says he cost us on a Friday night game a few months ago.
Is that Terzio?
Stop.
Really
Let go of it, Terzio. Let go of it, Terzio.
Let go
Listen,
of your ex-wife finally. Let
you know what? We should trade Pete. Didn't Pete strike out in the 9th inning with runners on to lose a game for us? Trade Pete.
A year and a half ago.
I remember he did that before he even played in the major leagues.
Jeez. No, but
remember
listen, guys,
listen. 2 runs in a game.
McCann's not going anywhere.
Sorry, Frank. I love you, Frank.
Calm down, Farace.
He says he never forgets. All right, listen, tomorrow night is the night that we've been all waiting for. We're back in black tomorrow, and who welcomes in back in black? But Carlos Carrasco, baby. Cookie Carrasco he goes tomorrow, makes his season and Met debut against Sonny Gray, who has a fantastic 2-6 record for the Reds.
I take him.
4.50 ERA.
I wish Carrasco took better care of himself on a DL. He's as big as a stadium now. But sorry.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
Oh boy.
All right. This is the first time, at least for an entire series, that we have no TBD in there. So Saturday is a Saturday night game, 7:00. You got Wade Miley, 8-4, 2.86 ERA, who I want to say we missed in Cincinnati against Rich Hill, who pitched well. Maybe was left in a little bit too long in his Mets debut. Is 6-4, 3.95 ERA. I'm sorry. And then on Sunday we got the Sunday afternoon game. Marcus Stroman goes. He's now 7-9 with a 2.63 ERA against Vladimir Gutierrez, who I picked up in my fantasy team because he had a nice stretch, but did not fare well against the Mets last time out. 5-3, 4.75, which we like. So what are you guys thinking for Carrasco, Rich Hill? Maybe a couple of 4 and 5 inning games out of those two. So the bullpen, in my humble opinion, needs to be fully rested, ready to go. None of this 6-pitch, 1 inning, I'm not coming back for the 2nd inning nonsense. So you want to go round robin and see what we think the Mets are going to do this weekend? Terzio already says 2 out of 3. And he's going to Saturday's game.
All right, Terzio.
And AC/DC, Mike Assisi. Maybe I'm saying that wrong. I don't like pronouncing last names on air. So Rodriguez, what do you see out there? Got 3 games coming up with the Reds.
I think our bullpen better be well rested. They better have taken their naps, and they better be ready because they're gonna probably pitch a lot in the first 2 games. Carrasco, I don't see him going long. If he goes 4 innings, if he goes 5, it'll be a miracle. Which would be if he's going 5, that means he's doing well. So I'll be happy. Then you got to bring the bullpen. The next day, the same thing. You got to bring the bullpen in. The only one that's going to give us innings, it should be Stroman, hopefully. And if he goes 8, the bullpen will have a little bit of rest. But I can see us winning 2 out of 3, if not sweeping the whole thing. if not just taking all three. I think it's possible. I think we can do it.
Mr. Laris, what do you think?
Can't wait for Eichhoff to get back, somebody said. So,
Oh,
as
God.
long as we just go with the strategy all weekend to intentionally walk Jesse Winker, we can probably take 2 out of 3. I'm a little questionable on the Carrasco. I don't know how far he's going to go, the Carrasco game. I don't know what he's going to do or what it's going to look like. But to Rodriguez's point, this weekend is really going to rest on our bullpen. Our bullpen really needs to step up because we're going to have 2 short pitchers. What I mean by short is 5-inning pitchers. Carrasco.
Are you talking about? Are we making fun of Marcus Stroman's height now? Jeez.
And Marcus Stroman's height.
5'8".
Carrasco and who's the new guy we just got? Rich
Hill.
Rich Hill. Yeah, they're like 5, maybe 6-inning pitchers. Stroman, on the other hand, I mean, this guy is a warrior. He goes out there and he gives us what he needs, and he pitches to what we need, stretches the innings. I love Marcus Stroman. I hope he's a Met for a long time to come. But it's really going to hinge on our bullpen and if our bats finally wake the hell up. You know.
Trade Stroman. There it is.
Yeah, our bats really need to wake up this weekend because we went from having this robust offense.
Keith, did you not see that?
Yeah, I did. I ignored it.
Okay.
We went from having this robust offense to the Braves just shutting us down. But we have this thing with the Braves for whatever reason that, like I was saying in our personal chat offline, that they just have this edge on us sometimes. And I don't get it because they're not a better team. But they shut our offense down the last 4 days, or 4 games, I should say.
All right, screw them. Just catching up on some last minute trade rumor stuff before we head out. Mystery team has shown interest on Max Scherzer. It's not a mystery. It is now become the Angels. Look at this. All of California. Everybody in California wants Max Scherzer. The whole damn state wants him in there. And let me tell you, the Angels are kind of hanging around out there without Trout. They're hovering around 500, which is not what was thought.
Trout coming back any day now. Any day now.
He's on your team, right? You're ready. You could make a listen. Listen, we're all on a fantasy baseball team. Some of us are happier about it than others, but Rodriguez has had all these injuries, and Trout's been injured all this time, and I finally get a returning guy. I get Cookie Carrasco, who I stashed in the draft, but
you sure did.
All right. I just looking to see if there's anything else here that I can pass along. Any nuggets?
That's gross.
It's really just that Cohen is pushing the Mets front office to make a move. That's really it out there that I can see.
Keith, talk to Cohen, Keith. He's right behind you. Talk to him. Tell him to get us something. Don't pick his nose. That's not gonna help. Oh, that's disgusting.
I taste a trade coming. Hold on.
Yeah, he tastes a trade coming. Oh, look at trade.
Max, they're all in California. It's the Giants, it's San Diego, it's the Dodgers, I think are involved also, and now it's the Angels. Terry Francona, just as we go out here, he is stepping away from the Indians for the rest of this season to focus on his health and his recovery. So,
best wishes.
And he also doesn't want to just hang out in the dugout as his crappy team gets crappier.
Wow, that was not nice.
Oh, sorry. My apologies. They're the Guardians.
Oh, the Cleveland Guardians.
Well, they're not the Guardians the next year, so.
Next year they are. But are they just Cleveland this year? Do they call themselves the Indians?
They still have the Indian logo, I believe. Well, who knows? Who cares?
Whatever. Anyway, let's talk real quick as we head out, Producer Joe, about Sterlin's Paradise. Because I always talk about this when I'm getting the hungriest from the show. Sterling's Paradise, authentic Haitian cuisine, fantastic daily lunch specials, all that stuff. 754-205-2637 is the phone number. You call ahead, order ahead, go pick it up, order through one of those fancy new technology apps out there like Grubhub. I almost said StubHub because we're doing a sports show. What's that other stuff? Uber Eats, all that stuff. So make sure you check them out. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, daily lunch specials each and every day. They are located at 360 State Road 7 in Margate. Again, for you guys listening on the podcast, 754-205-2637 is the phone number. Mr. Terzio is asking when our next show is going to be, and we do take it from week to week because of I just how the schedule is. And then for next week, August, we have Thursday available. We actually have Thursday available for the next 3 Thursdays as the Mets go to Miami. They're home against the Nationals the following week. And then there's that big trip, 10 o'clock games, 4 against the Dodgers, as we head towards the middle of the month. We got Marlins, Phillies, Nationals, Dodgers, Giants again through August. Let's see if we can make it through. Bring back Big Sexy. I think we can get a petition going for that, Terzio. I think we can absolutely do that. Let's go round robin here as we close this bad boy out, and perhaps get a Fwakata going here. Keith, let's start with you.
Fwakata, anybody not wearing a black New York Mets jersey tomorrow night. Boom! Fwakata, let's go Mets, baby. I'm excited about this black jerseys tomorrow. It brings back some good memories, nostalgia, all that good stuff. Let's go Mets. I think we're going to have a good weekend and take 2 out of 3. Be safe, everybody. Let's go Mets.
Rodriguez.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, we've been waiting all year for this, okay? And Carrasco's going to get the first shot at wearing the black jersey. Should have been DeGrom, should have been DeGrom. That's all I'm going to say. But I'm going to enjoy the day because Carrasco can turn into Carajo. And if you're Spanish and you know what Carajo means, it could be a big deal. We're going to be calling him Carlos Carajo for a long time. It's going to suck. However, it's going to be a great weekend. Do we get to wear the black jersey all weekend or just Friday?
Just Friday.
Oh, that's bull. Anyway, let's go Mets. Everybody be cool. Vaccinate, hibernate.
Rodriguez.
Just take care of yourselves. What? Fwakata to Rodriguez. My cousin. You know what? He's gonna talk smack now, but he has to see me. He has to see me on Saturday. So.
All right. Max.
All right. Okay. He knows. he knows his place as little cousin. So we'll talk about it later. I'll send you a picture, a raccoon picture.
Producer Joe, you got anything for us? Any nuggets of knowledge or?
Don't say nuggets to
just
him.
anything. Don't say nuggets.
Big, no, big,
big ups.
Big emotional boost from the black jerseys and Carrasco. Successful return tomorrow night. We sweep the Reds this weekend.
Let's go.
Boom. You see, he's a big softie for all the angry producer Joe things. You see him? A big little house for Carrasco. Big softie.
Terzio says he's got his black jersey from 25 years ago, number 13. That's got to be one guy, right?
Fonzie, baby.
Little Fonzie, who's going into the Mets Hall of Fame on the 20th, is it? Or is it next weekend? It was Ronnie Darling and Keith is talking on mute.
It was a picture from the 70s and Fonzie. Still remember who.
Oh,
Dennis
Jerry
Eckersley?
Koosman?
No.
John Matlack. John Matlack. Oh my God.
Matlack.
There was. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Alomar. Max has an Alomar jersey. Rodriguez. That man, this is like strike 3, man.
Do I need to say more?
Tell me it fell off the truck and you didn't pay for Roberto Alomar Mets jersey.
No, he paid for it. Alomar's Puerto Rican. He bought it. He bought it because Alomar's Puerto Rican. However, he makes.
That's fair.
That's another. No, it's another stinker for Maxie.
He spit in an umpire's face, guys.
I know. I would have killed him.
Ugh. All right. Max says he bought it. Listen, I have a Jason Bay jersey, but it was a gift, clearly from somebody who hated me.
That's a lie. You lie like a rug. We know you like Jason Bay.
All right, that'll do it for us this week. It was a fun show. Listen, we're going to keep you up to date on what is going on at the trade deadline throughout tonight, through tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be an exciting day. Don't get too high. Don't get too low. I don't want to see these things out there. The Mets aren't doing anything. The Yankees made all these trades. Chill out. Chill out.
It
Take
should
a
already be
pill.
out there.
It probably is. It probably actually I saw on Twitter somebody calming somebody down saying just because the Yankees are making trades doesn't mean we're not going to make a trade.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, so we'll wrap it up. Put a nice big old blue and orange ribbon on this bad boy and see who we can call as a potential deadline trade come 4:00 tomorrow. We've seen some great trade deadline deals for us in the past. Cespedes, who is a Cespedes now, but during that season, fantastic. Loved everything he did. Rodriguez, but Max is saying Beltran jersey is for you, Rodriguez.
I think I saw online today was 6 years since the Flores tears.
I was about to get there, but yes, 100% on this day, was it 2015? So 6 years ago, where we saw the tears of Wilmer Flores as he was about to head to Milwaukee, right? And then we also almost traded Zach Wheeler, I remember that same year, for Jay Bruce. All right. Before we do that, yeah, there it is. We'll head out. We'll talk about our new guys starting next week and how the Mets are just tearing it up and have opened up an 8-game lead on the National League East this time next week. Until then, we'll talk to you then. Peace out, everybody.
Get it.
Peace.